Hello and good morning, good afternoon and good night wherever you are. I'm Jay, your host or whatever I'm Jay. Today I'm going to talk about not Bill Bryson, no. Bukowski, and why Bukowski is such a bloody killer in literature. Bukowski is actually one of the authors or poets or writers that got me into writing, because his writing just speaks to every person. You don't have to be interested in reading or writing or literature to enjoy Bukowski. It's just so raw, vulgar, disgusting and beautiful in every way. There's a piece that I want to read from Bukowski. I've got like these wicked bookmarks. You get them from Officeworks, like $4 for loads of them. And before I used to use crap ones, but now look, they're so good. They just kind of like. Here's a poem of Bukowski that's pretty short, so I don't bore you forever. It's called "The Meek Have Inherited." If I suffer at this typewriter, think how I'd feel among the lettuce pickers at Salinas. I think of the men I've known in factories, with no way to get out, choking while living, choking while laughing, at Bob Hope or Lucille Ball, while 2 or 3 children beat tennis balls against the walls. Some suicides are never recorded. For me, this is quite a hitting one, because I remember when I was working at a chicken farm in Tamworth, I had to vaccinate 12,000 chickens a day. So there was about 8 of us. We had to catch 12,000 chickens in a pen, pick them up, drag them along a conveyor belt and vaccinate them, and then throw them over the other side of the wire fence. Well, when I took this job, I thought I'd become a vegetarian because, I'd feel bad for the chickens. But it's safe to say chickens are evil motherfuckers, and they will bite you, scratch you, shit on your face. They will do everything under the sun to make you feel shit. And I tried to be nice to the chickens again and again, and they only just scratched me and bit me in retaliation. It's safe to say I'm not a vegetarian after working at that chicken farm. His poem kind of reminded me of my time in a chicken farm when... Anyways, rant over. The thing with Bukowski is the way he writes. Imagine someone just splurting out realities of the truth without trying to be la-di-da. Like, he'll talk about if the sky's grey, he'll say the sky's grey. Or like, his eyes are as blue as the crystal ocean. No, he won't say that. He'll like cut the bullshit. Bukowski really inspired me to give poetry and writing in general a go, because he showed you don't have to be this academic type who knows all these fancy words and fancy literature to be a writer. And if you ask a lot of people who's your favourite poet, Bukowski comes up. The people you would not expect to read all say Bukowski, because Bukowski is a writer for the many. He's a writer for everyone. A writer for those who are educated, uneducated, for those who have lived, for those who have yet to live. He's a writer for everyone. And there's sort of beauty in his vulgarity that I find. And for me, that's why I recommend reading Bukowski. The way he writes, it's very straight to the point, straight to the cut. Somewhat like Raymond Carver. Raymond Carver is sort of a short story writer, and he's a master, him and his editor, because his editor is probably the reason why Raymond Carver's stories are so cut, edited, raw. Bukowski is the Raymond Carver of the poetry world, in my eyes. And there's so much to be learned from Bukowski. Just the simple, straight to the point descriptions. Today I want to set you a challenge. I want you to write 8 poems in one day. And they don't have to be anything special. I want you to take what you learned from Bukowski, his very raw, straight to the point, Hemingway-esque, simple poetry, and do it your way. I did my own poem. I did 8 poems yesterday, and I completed that challenge. And well, there's probably only 2 of them that are any good. And probably I'm going to share with you one of these poems and see what you think. The other day, I was walking through Melbourne, and currently it's in lockdown. And I saw Who's messaging me? Go away. I saw a playground and... Go away! Anyways. Jibber jabber. Anyways. I was walking through Melbourne and I saw this playground, and it was completely broken, and it was in the centre of a council flat estate. So council flats are these big high-rise buildings with like 30 levels, and they've got these little square windows that you can hardly see out of. In this playground, it was very broken, the swings were broken, the roof was spray painted, and there was this homeless man drinking a case of beer under the playhouse. And for me, it ran very poetic. So I tried to use Bukowski's cutthroat, raw, gritty, bare to the bone poetry style, and I tried to incorporate my experience, and here is what I got. Let me change my voice, you know what I mean? A little boy with chocolate smeared across his face tugs his mother's white clean dress, smearing chocolate across her waist. Mummy, can I go out to play today? His mother looks out of a little square hole, 18 stories up, at a 10-foot playhouse below the council flat. She reads, "COVID killed their childhood," spray painted onto the roof of the playhouse. She watches rusty swings swing back and forth. With the wind she's only allowed to feel for 2 hours a day. Her eyes run down the broken slide, feeling every bump along the way. She spots a homeless man, skinny as a rake, bald, hiding beneath the playhouse, drinking from a case of beer, throwing his empties onto the soft sponge made for kids. The little boy asks again, "Mummy, can I?" dirtying her dress more and more. The mother shuts the blinds, looks at her dress, thinking back to her childhood days, playing in mud with other children, worrying not that they might make their parents sick or kill the grandparents. She smiles at the boy and says, "Not today, maybe tomorrow," but she knows his youth is getting wasted as fast as the man drinking his days away under the playhouse made for kids. Yeah, so this is kind of what I got from my experience walking around Melbourne during lockdown. It was so empty, just this guy drinking a beer under the playhouse, and on the roof of the thing it said COVID killed their childhood. And I thought, how do I make this into a poem? And I looked up at the apartment building and I saw all those little square holes. They looked so depressing. And I thought, well, why not make this into a story? And that's what I did, thanks to Bukowski and inspiring me to try poetry for the first time. You gotta just appreciate his style. His style's very unique. It's very, very special. And just read him, dissect his style for yourself, and just give it a go. Please send your poem in the comments, and I will read, and we can all look at each other's poems and talk about what we like about it, what maybe could be better, and we can improve together. Give the 8 poems challenge a go, see if you can do it. But anyways, have a wicked day, wicked night, wherever you are, and see you next time. Bye! I don't know where I'm going with this. To read my street writing, feel free to give me a follow on Instagram. Have a wicked day.